Welcome to another Combustion Chamber Live. I'm in my 2004 Pontiac Gto. I've got my 5.7 liter Pontiac Gto hat on because I am at the Wide Track Warriors annual car show, and it is outstanding. A lot of great Pontiacs, a lot of Holden, and a few miscellaneous cars that are pretty nice too. Let's get after it. All right, let's get things started off right with an immaculate 4th Gen F body. This beautiful 2002 Pontiac Ws6 Trans Am is out here today. I know the owner. He's a hell of a nice guy. He takes great care of this car, and obviously you can tell that he loves it very much. So how do you spot that it's a 2002 right off the bat, even if it doesn't have, let's say, some of the engine dress up, which we'll take a look at closer in a little bit, but how do you spot it? A lot of the cars came with this last of the breed badging from 1967 to 2002. That was the last year of the F body, and last year of the, of course, the Pontiac Firebird and Trans Am, which is a damn shame because these cars are something else. So you can see that he really takes great care of this vehicle. It's got the Firebird coming out of the cup holder there. I really like these cars, and I really like the Pontiac interior on the 4th Gen F bodies. Just a fan. Of course, T-tops, not complete without those. He's got his graphic back here, the last of the breed logo. Member of a few clubs, registered car. He's got some LS1 badging back here, and that's what we're going to check out next. Come around this way, and this car is powered by a 5.7 liter LS1, very similar, pretty much exact to what I have in my 04 GTO. And like I said, you can tell that he really takes great care of this car. He's got the airbox painted, the Ram Air airbox, and yes, the hood. If you're not too familiar with the 4th Gen F bodies, if you've got a WS6 or an SS Camaro, the hood was functional. So air travels in there and feeds, if I can get you a good shot there without going into the sun, right there. So air would come in through those vents right there, those nostrils, those mean looking nostrils, come out right there, and feed directly into the airbox. So fantastic engine, aluminum block, aluminum heads, composite intake manifold. He's got the shock tower brace on it, so he's got a lot of just hard work put into this. I see some headers down there, and if you know anything about 4th Gen F bodies, they're a lot of fun. I think they're fantastic cars. I own one, but modifying them can sometimes be difficult. So getting those headers in there and working that exhaust takes a lot of hard work. And we come over here and we've got a Pontiac G8. This is powered by an LS2 6-liter engine. Now, what's interesting about this car is it's actually from Australia. Now, the engine, of course, is an LS2, but this is sold as a Holden Commodore in Australia when they used to manufacture their own cars. And that would explain the koala there. So, but beautiful car. I love the metallic blue, and I noticed that people that have the G8s, the SS cars, and Pontiacs in general, because they're I don't want to say they're few and far between, but they're not as common as saying a Camaro, a Mustang, or Charger, or Challenger to car shows. So they take just such great care of it, and this one is no exception. Beautiful looking car. So yes, this is a Holden Commodore, sold here in America as a Pontiac G8. So the engine's in the front. This is not a front wheel drive car. This is a rear wheel drive car. Holden really, you know, when they were making cars, they made some outstanding cars, and I'm glad to see the Commodores coming here, or that were coming here to America, and that the enthusiasts like this take such great care of them. So we had the koala on that one, and we got a kangaroo on this one. I'll get you a close-up of that. Of course, this one is modified as well, aftermarket airbox. Got some dress up there under the hood. He's got the covers taken off of over the injectors there, so you can see everything at work. He's got looks like a cover for the intake manifold painted red, and there's the kangaroo. So a little reference to that Australian heritage. Once again, another fantastic example of a Commodore or G8, whatever you want to call it. Now this beast right here, hopefully it looks familiar to you, because we had this on Combustion Chamber. If you're not aware, we have professional shows that focus on just one car, the owner, and the story behind it. And we were lucky enough to have this gentleman and this car on there. So if you want to see that episode, I'll link to it below, but also hit that subscribe button and bell icon for instant notifications when we go live with new episodes, because we have a big surprise coming up, and we're currently working on season 3 of Combustion Chamber. So let's go for a closer look. This car is pro-charged, as you can clearly see. So this thing scoots, and it does scoot. Like I said, I've had the pleasure of driving it. We've had it on the show. Fantastic car. So it's got the Pro Charger, it's got headers, it's got the Kangaroo there. But what was fantastic about this car, if I'm not mistaken, is that it was sold in America as a Chevy SS. But if you wanted to, I believe there was an option to keep the Holden badging. So the lion there, that beautiful, probably one of my favorite automotive logos ever. So this looks absolutely fantastic. And that lion works its way, in the center of the rims. And once again, engine in the front, rear wheel drive in the back. And the interior, all Holden interiors are probably the best. I think, when they have, this is on par with a Cadillac here in America, easily. So if you like what you see with this car, check out that link below. He was kind enough to do burnout for us. This thing's got a lot of power, and it was an absolute joy to drive. Right next to it, we have another G8. Pretty slick, got aftermarket wheels, which many of these do. At least the couple of G8s we saw, or one of the G8s we've seen already, did have it. Now, I guess it's a duck-billed platypus, is that it? So you can see the Holden logo there, and right there. So once again, even if they don't change out the badging entirely, there's all these little hints to its original manufacture. You can see it's got the arrowhead there, but with the line integrated into the arrowhead. So pretty wild stuff. So I hear something. I see something. Look at that GTO. Can you hear it? Let's get us some sound of that. He's going to pull in here. Wow, that sounded wicked. That's an 04 right there. Really nice. We're going to get a close-up look at that in just a second. Now we have a classic Pontiac Firebird here, one of the first years of the F-body. This would be a 68. Now, how do you spot that? How do you spot that it's a 1968? Well, no vent windows. That's one of the biggest giveaways. Just like the Camaro, the 67 year had the vent window that didn't roll down. Poor man's air conditioning, right? This one doesn't have it, so that's a good way to spot the difference between a 67 and 68. He's got his tack right there on the hood. Got his blue Pontiac block. These cars are sweet. I love it. Now, how do you tell the difference between a Pontiac block and, say, a Chevy block that would go into a Camaro? Well, typically Chevy blocks will be painted hugger orange, and then the Pontiacs will be this nice blue color. But let's say they decide to paint their block a totally different color. If you got two F-bodies sitting side by side, both engine blocks are painted black. Well, you see the distributor back there? That distributor is canted at a little bit of an angle. So if you're ever unsure, check that out, because on a Chevy V8, the distributor will be straight down. We're actually going to check out some Chevy V8s in just a little bit for an example. Now, I really like the Pontiac Solstice. They also sold it under the Saturn name, the Saturn Sky. If you haven't driven one of these, I highly recommend it. I think these would be outstanding autocross cars. They're really nimble. They're very wide. I'm surprised these did not take off in the autocross scene, because I absolutely love them. And right next to it, another iconic Pontiac, the Fiero. Very much an 80s car, but very much, I would say, ahead of its time. With the engine in the back, not a lot of domestic manufacturers were doing that. In fact, I think in the 80s, the only other car to do that was affordable for your everyday person was the Toyota MR2. Now this Fiero is super, super clean. Look at that. And it's good to see this car in such ridiculously good care. So like I said, the engine in the back. So you could have a lot of fun with this car. Very nice. And like I said, super clean. Even the little trunk space in the back, in great shape. All right, this GTO right here is in one of my absolute favorite colors of any car. Now, I love my blue GTO, but I really love this color as well. In fact, I was given a gift of a 1/18 scale car version of this. I believe it was an 04 though. Now this is I believe an 05 or 06. Now how can you tell that by just looking at it? Well, sometimes the calipers give it away. Actually, all the time. In 05 and 06, they came with red painted calipers. However, I have 06 red calipers on my 04. I modified it. So what are some other traits to tip you off if this isn't a 2004? Well, you've got the hood there with the scoops on there, right? Of course, you've got your LS2 6.0-liter engine. Of course, right here it's labeled LS2. Puts out 400 horsepower stock in this car. But what if the engine isn't labeled and you're not that familiar with LS, and maybe they put an aftermarket hood on it? Well, how else can you tell what year it is? Is it 04 or 05 or 06 model? Come around here to the back, exhaust tips on either side of the vehicle. On an 04, it was true dual exhaust, but only out of the driver's side. And it looks like, I don't know if this was an option, but the owner took to painting the center piece right here with GTO in that beautiful silver that matches the wheels. So absolutely outstanding car. And the car actually says Pontiac on it this time. In 2004, nowhere on the car did it say Pontiac. So when this interior came out in 2004 here to America through 2006, it rivaled the quality of Corvette. And you know, I love Corvettes. I'm not saying anything bad about them, but this interior was something else. And you can see it holds up incredibly well when you treat it right. I'll even show you mine, which is not even in good condition, as good condition as this, but it's still in outstanding condition for the year of the car. Now check out that Holden Ute. I've had the pleasure of driving one, not this particular one, but it's great to see this out here today. There's also another one here that we're going to check out a little bit later, but it's got those GTO nostrils on there. And it's a shame they never brought this to America, but you can get it converted. You import it to the States and you put the wheel on this side. Now, does that interior look familiar? It should. It's a GTO. And these were all built, if I'm not mistaken, on the same platform. So definitely something I wish they'd brought to America. Come over here. That GTO we saw earlier is right here. Now this is an 04. Of course, definitely modified. Along the side it says cam only. Okay. Now it's got some aftermarket seats. So if you have a V8 and you want that rumbling sound, that American V8 sound, but you want it louder than stock, you can get aftermarket exhaust, or you can go to the source. Where does that sound start? It starts with the cam. Now you can tell that it is a 04 because of the cutout. Now the tips aren't here on this one, but right there is where you can see where the two dual tips would come out of. And this gentleman is a veteran of, I believe, combat action badges specific to the Army. So I don't know if any other branch got that, but I'm going to assume Army. And everybody's welcome at this show, actually. Believe it or not, they open this up to everybody. So we have a Challenger RT here. Beautiful looking car. So this has got a Hemi in it. Now check this out, another Ute. This is the Maloo. Man, this is an old one too, man. That's pretty cool. I haven't seen one that goes this far back. Yeah, there's a Holden down in Australia. We're making these for years and years. That is something else. Now, don't ask me what kind of engine it is. I have no idea. But if you know, leave a comment down below. I like to learn right along with everybody else. Very interesting. I think it's fantastic to see one of these here. If you like what you see, you like seeing these Maloos and these Utes and the Pontiacs, hit that subscribe button and that bell icon for instant notifications when we go live with new episodes. We're also on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And if you really love us, check us out on Patreon. Come over here. We've got a Pontiac G8, another one, but I love it in the dark silver with those big brushed aluminum 5 spokes. So great looking car. He's got the dual stripes down there on the driver's side of the car. So that's pretty cool. All right, now this is a 30th anniversary Pontiac Trans Am. Once again, 4th gen F body. Beautiful car. Love the blue. Just absolutely love it. This thing is something else. Looks like he's got the underside. He's got the traditional material taken off, and it looks like it's been powder coated with a texture almost like a bed liner, which is fine. It's cool, whatever you want to do. He's got an aftermarket air box here. You used to be able to buy those from SLP. I'm sure you still can. 30th anniversary badging. Yeah, this is pretty nice. Let's see. Looks like. It's so hard to see inside this engine. You know, this engine is tucked in there so tight. But a great car in outstanding condition. Beautiful, the embroidered headrests. Got the fire extinguisher there. Pretty neat stuff. And he's got the Pontiac, the Bird, the Firebird there, coming down the entire length of the vehicle. Some people call that a screaming chicken, whatever you want to call it, but beautiful car and in just great shape. If you hear some really crazy loud bangs, we're not getting shot at. It's construction. Here's a classic El Camino. Just fantastic car. Once again, our American version of a Ute. All right, here we got a 1968 Pontiac Gto, where they really changed how the car will look. This was a totally new generation. Now, what does GTO stand for? If you're watching this, you might already know, but it does stand for Gran Turismo Omologado. Original owner, that's pretty cool. Beautiful, beautiful car. And, you know, one owner in absolutely outstanding condition. Now, check this out. I love this car. Classic Bonneville in that light gold kind of color. Powered by a 389 tri-power engine. Take a look at that. Now, why is it called a 389 tri-power? Well, 389 cubic inches of displacement. Yeah, that's a no-brainer. But if you don't know, the 3 two-barrel carburetors that sit right there on top. You could also find 389 tri-power in the GTOs as well. Pontiac used it in a lot of stuff in the 60s. And this car, once again, is just another example of outstanding, just love for a car. Beautiful interior. So here we have another Holden Commodore. Now, why are there so many Holdens at a Y-Track Warrior Pontiac Club car show? Well, they allow lots of different people into the show to participate. But after the Pontiac GTO of 04 through 06 and the Pontiac G8, Holden and Pontiac, at least here in America, kind of became merged. Not necessarily into the same company or anything, but they just kind of became linked. You know, that kind of passion for V8 cars, rear-wheel drive cars, and they just kind of got linked together. And so they're always kind of together at car shows. Now here is my 04 Pontiac GTO, 5.7 liter. I love it. It's my daily driver, so you can see it's not detailed to the nines. I didn't quite have time for that. But you can see the interior is in great shape. I found this in South Carolina. It was a one-owner car. That dealership couldn't get rid of it, so my luck. So, and you can tell 04, exhaust tips right there, just two coming out of one side. And I really love this car. I really don't have anything negative to say about it. I think it's probably one of the best muscle car, used bodies you can get out there. In fact, I'm going to do something special with this car one day for all of you to actually see. So, love it. And like I said, they allow anybody to come in, right? So you've got this beautiful pickup truck here. Absolutely gorgeous. I love this. Talked to the owner earlier. Very nice gentleman. He drives this all the time, he says. He's not afraid to get it dirty or anything like that. So it's both a little show and go. But yeah, you know, it's good to see somebody take the time to restore a classic like this, but enjoy it by driving it, not just keeping it on a trailer. And we whip around here. Another Pontiac G8 powered by an LS26 6-liter engine. Aftermarket wheels and brakes. It looks like he's got, it says Chevrolet brakes. These might be, I wonder where the calipers came from. Maybe a Camaro? Usually the calipers say, if they're from a Corvette, they'll say Corvette. He may have pulled them off a 5th gen Camaro. I mean, I've never seen that before, but it's totally doable. Of course, this one's got headers as well. And right here we have another beautiful Pontiac G8 with Brembo aftermarket brakes, aftermarket wheels, slotted rotors, aftermarket K&N airbox. I have something very similar on my GTO. Headers as well. I have SLP headers on mine, like I mentioned earlier. Great car. And once again, outstanding build quality, outstanding interior. Remember, this is an older car, so it's not going to have all the flash and bells and whistles as a newer car, but look how this thing is comfortable to drive and just in great condition. And we come over here. Look at that Tempest. That's a beautiful car. I love all the modern stuff that's out here. All your LS powered cars I think are fantastic. So let's go in for a closer look. There you go. But in great shape. Nice, beautiful blue color with that blue interior. Really nice car. And when we come around here, we see a surprise here. A Jeep, a very customized, well-detailed Jeep. This thing is definitely the only Jeep here today as far as I know. But really love it. That's pretty cool. And it's nice to see something different. So, beautiful vivid red, chrome grille. Now, we talked about the difference between a Pontiac and a Chevy small block, where the location of the distributor cap is. Who can tell me what engine this is? Leave a comment below. Let me know what it is. So this thing is done up to the nines. It's got his fuzzy dice. He's got his speakers back here. Pretty neat stuff. And right here we have another Pontiac G8 in a really nice striking orange color. Looks like the owner's taken to aftermarket air intake and engine dress up. Looks like there's headers down there too. A little hard to see, but that's okay. Really nice car. Let's go check out a couple of G8s. There's a lot of G8s out here today. So we've got this beautiful white G8 here. I like the rim package on this one. Well, not package, it's aftermarket. What the owner chose to do, I should say. He's got V-Series Cadillac calipers on there in that yellow, which look great inside those wheels. I think it's a good looking car. I know this owner's a nice guy. Right next to it, we got another G8. So all these G8s you see are going to be powered by the LS2 6-liter engine. There's no other option. One thing about Holden is that the options were few and far between. It was like, you got the V8, here's a couple color choices, here's automatic or a stick, and that's about it on a lot of their lineup. However, we know this is an American-made car right here. We've got a C5 Corvette, really decked out to the nines. He took out the front license plate holder and is using that for air intake. He's got canards, a splitter. Oh, that's blinding. Woo! Definitely put a little money in this. So definitely, not naturally aspirated, but I bet this thing scoots pretty well. It's got, up here, he's got a sort of a scoop on top of his roof here in carbon fiber. Pretty neat. He's got a Corvette racing wheel there, you know, with the flat bottom, gauges. It's an automatic. That's okay. My cars are automatic. I love the wheels he's chosen to put on there. I think those look really clean. That's a big spoiler to produce lots and lots of downforce, because this car, I bet, will scoot on a track. Pontiac Can-Am right here. Sport Coupe. This car is massive. Let's get a full view of this vehicle. I want you to check it out. Yeah, I call these land yachts, but I love them, actually. I love these big old cars. Very nice car. This one shows up to a few shows pretty regularly. Great condition. Once again, this guy definitely loves his car a lot. You can see the functional shaker right there. Pretty nice. Now this Bonneville right here is one of my favorite from today. I absolutely love these big land yacht cars. This thing is huge. If you're in the mafia, there's a lot of dead bodies you can fit in the trunk of this thing. You could probably stuff a couple under the hood there. Or as they say in the UK, the bonnets. Stacked headlights. Really just a designer's car. Absolutely love it. So they had a Bonneville in Goodfellas, actually, but I don't think it was the same year as this one. This would be in 1967. Love the little bit of green right there and the center cap on the wheel. And then come back here, look at that huge, absolutely massive trunk back there. But like I said, I love these cars. They're definitely of their era, of their time, and I can't say good enough things about them. And right next to it, I consider the car right next to it another classic. It is a Pontiac. This is an F-body too, a GTA. Love this car. Love the aftermarket rims he's put with this dark blue color. I really like my third gen F-bodies. Sometimes they get a bad rap. Sometimes people like to make jokes. I don't. I love them. So he's got scoops on here. Looks off of a fourth gen, feeding right into his air box, and this is an LS engine. Absolutely. Wait a minute. Do we have a little extra power there? No. I wonder what all modifications he's made to this LS. Still very good. He's got a BMR shock tower brace there. I have one on my 98 Camaro. So this car is pretty nice. You know, it's definitely an older car. It looks like it's driven pretty regularly, but that's a good thing. I mean, you don't have a car like this to not enjoy it. And you certainly don't modify it with a modern LS motor not to romp on it a little bit. So, love that one. Pontiac Catalina, 1965. Once again, another huge car, but a beautiful car. I love the stacked headlights. I love this pearl greenish color. Got the Pontiac engine there, painted blue, right? But I like this portion back here, right? The wheel arch, the wheel cover, this entire portion of the car, all the way to the back, and to the Catalina badging. That angle looks beautiful. You know, that's a designer getting to do what a designer wants to do. Like I said earlier, all are welcome, and we've got this Mazda RX-7 powered by a rotary engine. So they don't make too many rotary engines anymore, but they are pretty outstanding. They're a pretty outstanding design. I think it's great to see a car like this out here. We've got a lot of just small block V8s everywhere, and nothing wrong with that. One of them's mine. But to see this rotary engine out here is pretty outstanding. And right next to it, one of my favorite colors on any Holden car, this orange color. Got the black wheels, the red Brembo brakes, the Holden badging right there. Absolutely love the color on this car. Like I said, like all the Chevy SS cars or Holden Commodores of this generation, they're all going to be powered by an LS3. So it's just really up to if the owner wants to modify it. But this orange metallic color, I absolutely love. It's beautiful. And they did make the GTO in a very similar color, maybe the exact color. Now check this out, 1968 Pontiac Firebird. Once again, you can tell because it doesn't have that vent window. And I love this car in gold. It is absolutely beautiful in that gold color. Very clean and chrome engine bay here. Sweet car. Aftermarket seats. Now these aren't originals. That's okay though. Like I said, it's whatever you want to make it. And he's got some cup holders installed there. These cars I don't ever think came with cup holders. You can tell it came with factory air. You can see it way over there in that corner or right down here. That's where the AC vents were placed on this dash. If you look at our 67 Camaro, which we'll feature one day, those aren't even there. It's just flat metal. Look at that. Now that is beautiful. Just wanted to get you a wide shot from the back here, how good looking this Pontiac is. Absolutely love this car. Now here's something you don't see very often. I don't even think I've seen one in person. Maybe I haven't, I don't remember. A 1963 Oldsmobile Starfire. I don't think I've ever seen one of these before. I love how the metalwork starts at the bumper, travels down the entire length of the car. Ultra high compression. Look, it's got some red LEDs to light it up, but still, this car is beautiful. And I gotta be honest, I've never seen one in person before. Fit windows, we were talking about those quite a lot today on various cars. Big old car. If you notice, a lot of these 60s cars, they're 2-door or 4-door, just massive. I mean, look at the trunk on that thing. Absolutely love it. All right, right next to that Starfire is a 1957 Chevy Bel Air. Beautiful car. Definitely a resto mod. It's lower than stock, aftermarket wheels, aftermarket brakes, all black, convertible. This car is nice. Really love it. I think it's everybody's favorite car to some degree or another. Definitely has some aftermarket things on the interior, the seats obviously, and the center console, which I wonder what they pulled the center console out of. I bet there's somebody you could look right at and go, it's from this, or it comes from this supplier, but I'm curious where that came from. And we've got another GTO pulling in one of my favorite colors, like I stated earlier. Gorgeous car. Looks like he's got hood pins on it. So those kind of where not the nostrils on the hood, but the vents and the grill there, they are outlined in silver. That is an option you could get on the GTO. Beautiful car, and that is a 2004. Classic 1969 Chevrolet Camaro, powered by a 427. That's what the badge says right there. Hugger orange, white stripes, cowl induction hood. This thing is in beautiful, beautiful shape. And it also has something I think is pretty neat. It has the houndstooth white interior there. That's what that pattern was called. If I'm not mistaken, it was houndstooth. Stick shift car to boot. This other thing is a blast to drive, I have no doubt. Really beautiful car. And once again, an F-body platform car. Really nice. Right next to another F-body car, but this one is much newer. This would be a 4th generation, where that 69 would be a 1st generation. LS1 powered. I love the Trans Am in this color. I don't know what this color was called when it was being manufactured, but I love it. And it has an SLP aftermarket air box on there. Love this car. LS2 powered car. Very nice. What year is this one? 06, okay. Beautiful. The black paint is in outstanding condition. I love seeing these cars here. It's only at these Pontiac shows I get to see more GTOs of the 04 through 06 era, because I'm usually the only one. And we come over here, we've got a 1968 Pontiac Firebird, beautiful car. Once again, no vent windows, that's your biggest tip off. Gorgeous car in great condition. Got red stitching on the black there and the Firebird logo, so definitely some aftermarket touches. But honestly, if you didn't know what to look for, you would think that's probably something the car came with when it was originally made. Now here's a Pontiac I've never seen, and I'm probably going to mess up the pronunciation of its name. Paracine. I've never seen one of these before, but nice car in great condition. Has that Hugger orange block with the distributor straight up and down in the back. So what kind of engine is that? What's it out of originally? So 1963, it says right here, from Ontario. Wow. convertible. Beautiful car though. Looks like it originally came with factory air. Well, I've never seen one of these before. It's a new one for me today. Great looking car though. Parked right next to a 1967 GTO. Now, if you're confused a little bit between like a 66 and a 67 GTO, the rear ends are very different. This is a 67. A 66 actually has 3 thin pinstripe taillights on either side of the car. So that's the biggest giveaway if you want to spot it right off the bat. At least for me it is. Stick shift car. Beautiful. Powered by a 400 4-barrel carb engine. Fantastic vehicle. I love my GTOs. Y'all know that, especially love my classics. 66 being my personal favorite year, but the 67s are fantastic all on their own. Love it. And right here next to that classic GTO is a 5th gen Camaro in a beautiful orange LS3 powered engine with the Heritage grille and the SS badging that you normally find on a 1st gen car. It says 376, so maybe this engine has been bored to that size, which would be pretty awesome. So beautiful interior on these. You know, this orange color became very popular after a film called Return of the Camaro. That was my film. I was able to accurately represent the orange color and the orange color on the interior. And a lot of people said they switched their pre-orders because of that. So I'm very proud of that. So if you search Return of the Camaro on YouTube, you'll definitely find it. Absolutely love the color on this car. And right here we got another Chevy SS or Holden Commodore LS3 powered, right next to a supercharged Cadillac with the LSA motor. Really awesome to see that out here today. Obviously he's got some aftermarket wheel action going on. Then classic big body Bonneville here. This thing is huge. Look at that. But I love it. I love it. I think it's fantastic. And right next to that, a 1969 Pontiac Firebird. Really nice car. Convertible, in great shape. The engine, look at the engine, look at the compartment here. Really nice. All right, we got a big old Ford F-150 four-door truck here. Like I said, all are welcome, man. So it's a beautiful metallic red. Love it. Don't know a whole lot about it, but it's a good-looking truck. And right here, we got a plum-colored Holden Commodore. I believe I know the owner of this vehicle. Looks like there's an aftermarket spoiler on there. Takes ridiculously good care of the car, and I love it in this color. It's my understanding this color is very, very rare. And right next to it is a supercharged wagon. We've had this on Combustion Chamber. I'll link to that one below as well. I'll link to everything we've talked about today that we've already shot. This is an LSA powered engine. That means it's a supercharged LS. Polished wheels, beautiful blue. But my favorite part of this car, aside from its massive amount of power, is the stick shift. And I have to say that having this on the show, getting to drive this car was outstanding. And we talked about the Commodore Ute earlier. This is a modern Maloo. We saw an older one over there. But right here, we've got this just absolutely gorgeous LS3 powered Maloo. And to see this out here today is fantastic. Probably one of my favorite of the show. We had a Ute on the show and absolutely loved it. Now check out this classic Ford here. Now I don't know if you'd call this a rat rod or not. The paint is beautiful. It's a beautiful looking vehicle. Just a nice fun road going car. And that almost military green, got nice, beautiful pinstripe work on it. Really fantastic. I love those seats, like the brown leather. Yeah, this is a nice looking ride. It's good to see something like this unique out here today. Look at this supercharged Cadillac right here. A couple bucks went into that. I love the black with those really dark gunmetal wheels on there, and then the silver calipers that come with a V-Series car like this. Pretty nice. Definitely a lot of power in this car. And it's good, you know, I think it's so fascinating. You can get a Cadillac again, you know, that it's got so much power. It's not just a luxury car, it's definitely a performance vehicle. It has that carbon fiber and functional hood up right there. And we come around here, classic Corvette with those killer side pipes. I love this car. Black with silver running down the middle. But yeah, I dig the side pipes a lot. Car's in absolutely immaculate condition, which you don't see too many classic Corvettes that aren't, at least in my experience. I really like this car. I love that classic styling a lot. Truly, truly a beautiful car. I hope you enjoyed today's Combustion Chamber Live. I know that I certainly did. You know, a special standout treat for me were the Holden Utes, especially that late model LS3 powered Maloo. I absolutely love that car. And I want to know what cars were your favorites. So let me know that in the comment section below. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button and bell icon for instant notifications when we go live with new episodes. Also, check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And if you love us, check us out on Patreon. Some of the cars I directly referenced today that have been on this show will be linked below, but they're also going to be linked in the title cards seen on screen here. Definitely check those out. I think you'll really like what you see. And once again, without your continued support, we don't have a show. So thank you all very much to those who share, like, subscribe, everything. Thank you all.